Hey, what's good, YouTube? It's your man Ronan, back for another one. I want to send a shout out to A Game Nation. Salute to you all. Today is A Game Day. Definitely feeling a lot better and re-energized, having taken it and say, you already know the deal. Use the code RONAN10 as your passport into the A Game lifestyle. Helps with your vitality, energy, libido, and focus. And I want to say much love to the A Game Nation and all my peers. It's a growing number that I'm starting to lose count. Much love to you all. And subscribers, you already know the deal. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be abreast of all the new content I'm set to bring in the coming days, hours, whatever. So today's conversation, we're going to talk about leisure and how it can expose the leader you are versus the liability that you can become. So starting off with the liability, you got to ask yourself, in your circle of influence, is what I'm doing in my free time or quality of experience when you're not working, is it constructive or destructive? Does it best represent my brand or my appearance, or is it to my detriment and that of others? Say, for example, how this space used to be, or at least ran. It was a free-for-all. It was like Never Never Land on cyberspace. We had individuals going out here, what they deemed as fun out here, doxing, harassing people. You had some dehydrated dudes and some women embarrassing themselves. All manner of things that were counterproductive, not just to themselves, but in this space. So you have to think about, when you have individuals doing certain things, you wonder, is this what I want representing me? Because if you're not careful, what you deem as leisure has very extensive consequences that follow it. It's like collateral damage. So there are some guys I know that all they do is drink. Now my thing is, I am a social drinker. I drink every other blue moon. At most, you might get 4 drinks, or I'll do something solid like a margarita, depending on how well it is. But the leadership aspect comes to knowing my limits. Same thing as peers who aspire to represent themselves well. It's good to unwind after, kicking ass and taking names, as we are intent to do. But accountability and responsibility should never take a day off. Thing is, if you already know how you are, and as your peers should, if you're willing to indulge to an extent, you should feel comfortable about placing certain people in charge of your safety and well-being. Now, granted, I support my peers having fun, especially my fellow veterans. You already know we go out there with a 96 or a 72, and we're out there getting goofy. But sometimes you'll go to a place or a bar, you got one that is an angry drunk or doesn't know their limitations, and then as soon as they get enough alcohol or whatever into them, now they're a liability. You have individuals who are willing to get you in trouble because they want something to prove, or they got beer goggles on and they know no level of restraint, or respect their own personal boundaries and whatnot. They're easily offended about things, or more importantly, it puts you in a line of fire of pending enemies and targets who are looking to see you in your moment of weakness. See, leisure is needed. I'm an avid gamer, so knowing more or less I'm a perfectionist, and I usually have 1,000,001 things running in my mind. Sometimes I run on tangents. Unfortunately, I'm working on that. I need things to help calm my mind down. A lot of times it could be reading. A lot of times it could be conversations with good friends, playing with my dog. When it comes to video games, either I'm pissed off or I need something like steering my head. I'll play like games like Grand Theft Auto, or Fallout 4, or Destiny 2, or at least in the games that keep me engaged mentally to where I can disconnect from the stresses of the world or whatever's bothering me and come back at it in constructive fashion. If you're that type of leader, you'll understand that you can learn a lot from your peers in how they express themselves in free time. Like, you know what you're dealing with. Like when you are out, as far as like engaging other people, you got to be either the designated driver, or you'll be the type to, like, you know what, ward off individuals who either want to take advantage, both male and female. You'll have ones who know, like, look, that's enough, let's go home. They'll put them on the couch or whatever. Or they say, look, this is cool, let's finish up, let's wrap this up, we got to get back to the mission. That's the thing about having that level of discipline. Fun is great and all. You get a chance to unwind. But you do have to understand, remaining committed to the mission, you'll be able to knock things out, have that measure of forward progress, and you go back to having fun again. But it's all about balance. When it comes to the gym, I have a personal trainer, and shout out to him. And we make it more work and play. Now, many times over, he will sit there and instruct me on certain things I need to do technique-wise so I don't injure myself or anybody else. But every now and then, we sit there and have this friendly banter where we'll crack jokes. Just as with your peers, when you start bagging on each other, snapping, or whatever you want to call it, whatever your region you're from, that shows a level of mental dexterity, wit, durability in a sense, because, you know, or the ability to laugh at yourself. But unfortunately, there are some people in and out this space who don't have that level of durability or the that quick wit to keep up, because there are some people who go back and forth, and you most times earn respect for being able to stand on your own, because you are going to no doubt being tested. Because if someone is ultra sensitive about themselves, if their spiritual value is in a deficit, or they take things so close to heart where, you know, yeah, certain things about like your dwelling or your family or whatnot, which we often bag on, if that hits close to home, all you did was present a thumb screw that someone can take advantage of. Now, on the leadership part, we know when and where to go and how far. If we see like, okay, look, let me pull back because he or she's a little sensitive about this, they'll keep it pushing. But there's some individuals who want to disregard restraints. They're like, you know what, I'm going all in. And most times, that level of leisure can be costly. It can be detrimental to your health, family even. You know, all the things that we hold dear. So, when it comes down to it, veteran, civilian, we got to be mindful of not just what we love to do to express ourselves and unwind and release. We got to think about our level of leisure too, to where if we do it correctly and learn to master it in a way, you can actually monetize it. And that can lead possibly to wealth and spiritual fulfillment. See, I'm an artist, and I look at other people as respective artists, but they have their own respective canvas. So with me drawing, that helps me relax my mind, which is the spiritual part, and the health. Even my family, to an extent, has supported the idea of me doing certain things because they know what that does for me. And it can actually affect my dwelling or that of others in using my art as decoration to either replenish someone's mood, create a conversation piece, and add value to that person's home, which is another thing. A lot of your art or your trade or your gift, that can hold value, especially in times of plenty and in famine. So we have to remember that part. Then you're looking at, excuse me, in a sense, education. You start learning the benefits of not just to get better in that, but learn how to turn your leisure into a profession. You got some gamers online that are making money doing what they love to do, testing games, doing tutorials and whatnot. Same thing with art. You got individuals doing welding, makeup. You're doing podcasting. See, again, leisure, in a sense, you could turn it to a profession. And if you look at the 10 life values, there's many ways you do it, but first and foremost, you have to tap into the spiritual part and do your best to not just master your craft, but go all into the aspect to bring the better parts of yourself out. Eventually, you'll come into wealth, but the thing is, you should ward off instant gratification. Even if you do have people who jump on the team early, you still have to be mindful, like, look, I'm still learning, this is a process, because sometimes you will stunt your growth by getting happy with the instant results that seem like you're at a certain place. There's still more things to learn. There's still more grooming, still much more grooming you need to become the very best possible. And in turn, I'm surrounded by great orators, individuals who took their time to master their craft, to be better speakers, better presenters. And in doing that, it gives me the motivation to understand that while I continue to listen to them and take notes from them from the sideline and even ask them questions and applying the information that they give me or I find for myself, I too can master things in my own way. So learning how to master my leisure, I can become a better leader. I can monetize that leisure into something that I can pass on to my legacy. See, it all depends if you're looking at the micro and the macro of leisure. What exactly can seem like fun can be something that can fund you in ways while you're here and beyond you. Because certain art pieces, like you see the Mona Lisa, has accrued wealth, and that person's been long gone. But that's a dedication of their leisure, allowing to help them last a lifetime, even though that they physically expired. It's that spirit of creativity and ingenuity that if we apply it right, we can help our peers and even our generations be proud of what we've done by tapping into the greater part of ourselves. So in closing, I want to say we cannot take leisure lightly. Something that we love to do and express ourselves and help unwind and clear the fog within our head. If we do it right, if we're surrounded by the people who support what we do, then you'd be surprised at what you can create, what you can earn, and what you could change, not just for yourself, but the people who see the greatness within you manifested. So, with that being said, I want to say much love to the A-Game Nation, 5150 Nation, salute, and I want to say happy birthday, well, belated birthday to Denise Scott, Jasmine Whitmore, Corey Holcomb, my man Vernon from Chicago, and all my peers that are about the right and looking to kick ass and take names. So, as always, never allow your comfort zone to become your coffin. Much love to you guys, and Semper Fi. Peace.